Hey there, folks. Just going to give my comments on the event of Randy Orton joining the Wyatts. Orton is an enigma because there are times where creative have simply the best material to work with him, and then we get to periods like this where they don't know what to do with him. I appreciate that he's not exactly one of the young bucks anymore, and that's not a knock towards him. That's just it's just fact. Athletes age and all that jazz. But Orton, who is an 11-time champion, best to my knowledge, who's been in some of the biggest feuds and rivalries in his career with the likes of Edge, Cena, The Undertaker, although the thing with Kane over a handshake I just thought was just ridiculous. And to that really irritating feud with Christian in 2011, less said about that the better. This is a high caliber WWE wrestler, and I just find it's a lack of creativity on creative's part when they don't know what to do with him, so they have him join the Wyatts. Now, Orton has been a dark character before, but only from the perspective of corruption. When you look at how he was when he was part of Evolution, to when he was part of Legacy, being part of the Authority, which I'm glad finally bit the dust this year. Ugh. Never wanted a wrestling angle to end so badly before. But here we have him joining up the likes of Bray, Bronze, and Luke Harper, and you're like, what are they doing? It's, with Cena, they have some idea of what to do with him going forward. Same thing with Dean Ambrose, because he's kind of their go-to guy as an established protagonist on SmackDown. And AJ Styles, love him or hate him, he is probably the most credible heel WWE Undisputed Champion. I know people are going to say it's the WWE World Champion. I prefer it's the Undisputed title, but that's just me. That's just me. And again, him with the Wyatts. I appreciate sometimes people join up in a stable to try and find some type of direction and some type of identity to go with, but they always seem to shove Orton into a stable or a tag team when they don't know what to do with him. Case in point, he was having a couple of decent matches in the fall of 2002 on SmackDown, and then transferring to Raw, and then have him join it with Evolution, because it's like, we don't really know what to do with you. Then him going for the World Heavyweight title, and then being abruptly being dismissed from Evolution, then chasing after the world title after Triple H took it off of him at Unforgiven 04, and to then chasing after The Undertaker's undefeated streak for Mania 21, and then you get to 06 and it's like, we don't know what to do with you. So they stick him together with Edge, and they become Rated RKO, one of the more charismatic heel tag teams in a while, although I felt Edge was a little bit more entertaining than Orton. That's just me, because Adam Copeland is one of the best guys on the mic, but I preferred him as the fun-loving Edge from 2001 to 2002 with the goofy sunglasses and the 5-second poses. That's the Edge I remember. And then Rated RKO disbands, and Orton's left with nothing to do until they put the WWE title on him, because Cena was out for an X amount of time due to tearing his pectoral muscle off his shoulder, and he's just awarded the WWE title in a similar vein to how Triple H was awarded the World Heavyweight title on September 2, 2002, when, at the time, WWE Undisputed Champion Brock Lesnar defected to SmackDown, taking the belt with him and refusing to be on Raw. And then, again, in the similar vein how Triple H was awarded the world title. And then, we've had Orton as WWE Champion going up to WrestleMania. Then Triple H takes the title off of him at Backlash. And then he's out injured for a while. And then he forms the Legacy because, they needed something to do with him. And you go into 2009. He got back to prominence, after losing the WWE title match at Mania 25 against Triple H. He wins the title at Backlash, but then he goes through this feud throughout the year, one with Batista, which Batista then had to forfeit the title due to injury, and then there's this back and forth thing with him and Cena, which got irritating real quick because we've seen Cena and Orton enough times to, to be like, hey, can we not do this? This really sucks. And then we get the situation where after Orton loses the WWE title to Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, he's stuck in Evolution again because it's like, well, we want Bryan as the go-to champion for a while. Then Bryan gets injured, which, that was such a huge blow for him, for such an incredibly talented athlete. And then throughout 2014, they don't really know what to do with him. They have him feud with Roman Reigns, and then Seth Rollins at some stage, which then led to that rather impressive match at Mania 31. But then again, Orton, getting injured again. And then he comes back, has a match with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2016, which is one of the worst matches I've seen in a while. Here's the thing, I'm just going to put this out there. Give Brock Lesnar somebody he can work with, or more importantly, get somebody that can actually have a match with Lesnar, because all Lesnar seems to be is shoulder into the ribs, suplex repeat, and it's just like you're becoming a bit of a one-note wrestler. It's all he does. At least with guys like Shawn Michaels, Shelton Benjamin, they mix it up. They actually try to keep it interesting and diversified with their moves. But Lesnar's like, oh, you're boring. As an athlete, he's an absolute, unique specimen, because here you have a guy that's near 300 pounds, but he has the pace of a gazelle or a cheetah, but he is just so one note. Even when he had matches with Kurt Angle and The Undertaker, then you were seeing something really, really impressive, because you could see somebody that could get the best out of him and actually move around like an athlete. But his wrestling matches, I'm sorry, for me, they're just boring, because it's just him doing, repeat after repeat after repeat. And it's just like, the match with him, Rollins, and Cena at Royal Rumble 2015, I will give the man credit. I'll give all three of them credit. They put on a decent match, but I don't know. And then we get this situation now where Orton's on SmackDown. It's like, okay, we need something to do with you. Feud with Bray Wyatt. Why? Because Wyatt needs something to work on. Well, that is true. But we get this situation now where Orton now joins up with them. That says to me, and I know what you're thinking, too long, didn't watch. I'll surmise it for you real quick. It reeks of... It's borderlining on desperation, but it's showing lack of ideas, because we've seen this before. It's repeating what happened with Daniel Bryan at the end of 2013, where the Wyatts had some sort of issue with Bryan, and at the end, it's like, if you can't beat him, join him. And, I don't like to keep going back to stuff that Jim Cornette has said over the years, but he simply said years ago, if it's been more than 7 years since you've used an angle, excuse me, then you can use it again. But it's only been 3 years, you know? And I mean, the type of monotone and creepiness that Orton can go, I mean, yeah, from that perspective, it works. But the point is, we've seen this angle before, and it's too soon to use it again. I don't know. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and just get the hashtag going with Orton Wyatt, or Randy Wyatt even. Until then, folks, good night from the night.